Hi everyone, this is Dr. Elena Michaels, and I am here to give you another card reading and guided meditation. And I am sitting in my living room with the fireplace going. It's a very cozy evening, and I want to welcome all of you here. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would be deeply honored if you would do so. You'll be able to see all the cards right here, and you won't be able to see my face this time because I did not do a guided meditation and card reading last week. And I wanted to do one this week because I skipped last week. Last week was a very intense week for me as I was mentally, emotionally, and spiritually preparing for the celebration of life for David O.B., who was my partner, my husband, my lover, the father of my children, my best friend, my brother, my soulmate, and he passed away in September. And so we did the celebration of life last weekend, and last week I just couldn't do the card reading and guided meditation. I just was too emotionally involved in everything that was going on with leading up to that. So I'm doing it for you now, and I'm doing it this way, okay? And the reason I'm doing it this way is because it was such an intense week for me last week, and because I'm a little under the weather and I have some big events this weekend, and I want to make sure that my energy is up and ready for what is going to be happening with me personally in the next few days, where I need my energy to be up and really, really just tuned in and clicking. I feel really great right now, and I feel really tuned in right now, and I'm really looking forward to giving you a fabulous card reading and guided meditation. And so here we go, off and running. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose I'm going to choose a God card first, okay? There's the God cards. And I'm going to choose a God card first. This is a cute little box of cards that someone gave me. And I'm just going to shuffle these on the camera, and let's see what comes up. Okay, let's just see what comes up. And here's a pink one. Let's see what that says. Okay, it says, when I let go of trying to control, I find myself more in control. You know what it feels like when you're trying to make things happen? It feels like you're faking your energy to have control over things, when you really actually don't have control over a lot of things. The best thing to do is to just let go and let God or universal energy, whatever you want to call it, be the deciding factor in things, and stop trying. The trying part sometimes often stops the flow. So when I let go of trying to control, I find myself more in control. The back of this card says, when I let go of trying to fix others, I can begin loving me. Boy, isn't that the truth? You know how much energy it takes to fix others and want them to be different than they are? Everybody has their own trajectory, you know? They all have to just kind of go on their own trajectory and follow their own path, and our job is to allow people to do that as long as there is no harm involved to us or anyone close to us. And if there is, get out of Dodge, get away. All right, so now I'm going to open this deck right here, and we're going to see what comes up here. This is my standard tarot deck. Not the same deck, but actually not the same cards. I've used many cards. I've had many decks, but I've used this style of deck for quite some time. And so I'm going to shuffle the cards right here. And let's see, it's just so wonderful right now with the fire going and everything. And I've got my nice ambiance happening here. It's very peaceful. I just want to say that I want us to be divinely protected by healing white light during the entire time of this reading and meditation, and that whatever cards come up be cards that are helpful and beneficial for all of you who are watching or listening. Now, I kind of suggest that you have a question in mind and maybe you write that question down so that you may be able to get some guidance or clarity from the cards that show up. This is not a fortune-telling reading. This is a way for you to bypass your critical mind and go into your deeper mind so that you might be able to see things more clearly and get the answers for yourself. So think of this reading as a map instead of a etched in stone future projection of what exactly is going to happen in your life, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to cut once, cut twice, cut 3 times. And here is the first card, Temperance. Temperance. All right, so I'm going to lay Temperance out right here, and I actually feel like I should choose another card. And I will. Oh boy, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to put this deck aside right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the cards that just came up. These are, the first one is a Major Arcana card. The Major Arcana cards always hold a lot of punch. They hold a lot of pixels. They have a lot of information. And the next one is a person card, okay? This is the Queen of Pentacles right here. Pentacles are actually years in the Tarot. And Temperance, a Major Arcana, let's talk about that, okay? Look at this angel right here, okay? This angel is pouring water from one cup to another cup. Kind of like what the God card said, allow things to flow, you know? Allow things to be. I'm just looking to make sure this is recording. Yeah, it is recording. Okay, so this angel has red wings, which means that the angel is grounded. And if you look at the card, you will see that there's a triangle of red. So this is the root chakra right here. And this is the crown. You know, come from your highest place always and tap into your emotional self right there. Tap into your emotions to see what's true and real for you. And the fact that it's water, this is also about emotions. This is about balance of your emotions. Balance of your emotions. Keep one foot on the ground. Don't get too far deep into your emotional life and allow your emotions to run everything. Keep yourself grounded, okay, rooted. This is the root chakra, the red. And the angel is in a white gown pouring water, which is emotion, from one cup to the next. And cups are emotions. And in the Tarot, cups are, what are they now? Let me think for a second. Swords are days. Wands are months. Cups are weeks. Okay? So allow things to flow. Now, this is a 14 card. Okay? When you add 1 and 4, you get 5. 5 is the 5-pointed star, which you see right here. See the 5-pointed star? This is a pentacle. And if this were a person, it would be the head, the 2 arms, and the 2 legs. You see that? So this queen right here is the feminine energy being very, very grounded and centered, looking at the star. Pentacles are about the earth trip. They're about money. They're about career. But this is about, the pentacles are about a year, okay? So this is not a near energy thing. This is kind of keep yourself grounded. We're coming to the end of this year, actually. Keep yourself grounded and centered, and you see how centered she is? She's sitting on a very solid concrete throne here. And she also is wearing red, very grounded. That's the root chakra. She's got the Taurus right here on the edge of the throne. So she's pretty focused. And she's pretty focused on some goals that are going to materialize and maybe materializing in the next year. Now, the next year could very well be early 2023. It doesn't have to be a year from now, okay? So those cards are very interesting. And now I'm gonna choose from another deck. My throat is so dry. I'm glad I have some water here. Okay, the next deck I'm gonna choose from is this one right here. This is the Daily Guidance deck of your angels. And let's see what's cooking here. I'm gonna shuffle these guys and we're gonna see if we can get some substantiation and clarification, a little more guidance. Think about your question, think about your things that you want clarity on, the direction you're going in your life. And hopefully the cards will give you that. Now I'm gonna take the top card. Oh, acceptance, okay. Well, that ties into what the God card said that started this whole thing off, about accepting people the way they are, allowing them to have their own path without trying to control them or have them be on your path. That causes so much strife and stress for people, you know, when you're trying to convince people to see it your way or to be on your path with you, you know. It's like if they want to be on your path with you, they'll be there. But it takes so much energy to try and rope somebody in. So much energy to try and move them from where they need to be going for their own path to get into your path, you know. All right, I'm going to read to you about acceptance, okay? So let's see what this card has to say. First of all, let's look at this card. See that? Okay, acceptance. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. You receive this card to help your relationship with yourself and others. The next time you're tempted to judge yourself or someone else harshly, pray for their health and happiness instead. This more positive route builds self-esteem and harmony and heals relationships. Allow, right? Let it flow. Just let it flow. Okay, additional meanings are, notice how much better you feel when you think positively about yourself and others. Don't try to control or change others. Let go of tendencies to force things to happen. That is exactly what the God card said, right? I mean, this is just, I'm going to leave this right here because that was pretty powerful. When I let go of trying to control, I find myself more in control. And the back of it was, when I let go of trying to fix others, I can begin loving me. It's not very loving when you're spending your energy trying to convince somebody else and fix somebody else. You know, stay in your own lane, as they say. Don't try to control or change others. Let go of tendencies to force things to happen, and you'll receive your desired or better outcome more peacefully. When one door closes, another one opens. Think about that. Think about how this is all tying together here. My hands are so dry. Probably because the heat's been on a lot in the house. It's been very chilly. Alrighty. moving right along. Let's go into the Archangel Oracle cards now and see what they have to say. I'm going to shuffle these. And again, we're asking for more clarification, more inspiration, more substantiation. And we're going to cut the cards. Excuse me, I'm already starting to release. I can already feel the tears, the teary eyes, the yawning, the throat clearing, the dry mouth from the needing all the water. Okay, here we go. Spiritual understanding. Look at that card. Is that gorgeous? Spiritual understanding. This is Archangel Raziel. You know, I'm going to do this in order here. This came first. No, this came first. And then the Queen came. And then acceptance came. And now spiritual understanding is here. And this is Archangel Raziel. And Archangel Raziel, he says, I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you to understand spiritual truths. Let's read more about that. This is such a beautiful card. See, it's got like the flower of life there. That's a pendant that I often wear, is the flower of life pendant. Okay, spiritual understanding. Your spiritual understanding is rising to another level as you open up to new ways of looking at life. Keep an open mind and let go of limited thinking and illusions. Pay attention to the signs. Keep your eyes and ears open. Information that comes to you 3 times or more is very relevant. Notice geometric shapes. See these shapes right here? And symbols in your physical and psychic vision. Know that your increased awareness may shift your relationships and career goals. That happens sometimes when you find yourself expanding spiritually. You find it's kind of like if you're used to doing certain behaviors that are destructive, maybe drinking or drug using or eating junk food or something like that, and you have people that you do that with, and then you start to clean up your act a little bit, those people kind of fall away because you don't have so much in common with them. So you may find that as you start to become more spiritually aware, and as you start to become more aware of seeing things in your environment that are speaking to you, you may find that your relationships change and your career goals change. Raziel says he will guide you through these changes so your life mirrors your inner experiences. As the wizard and alchemist of the Archangel realm, Raziel helps us understand ideas that defy normal logic. He expands and challenges everyday thinking in ways that ultimately have healing effects. If you hunger for deep spiritual understanding, ask Raziel, R-A-Z-I-E-L, to enter your dreams. You'll soul travel with him to classrooms where he'll help you uncover truths and secrets. Upon awakening, you may not fully remember or understand these teachings, yet the knowledge is permanently embedded in your subconscious where it guides you throughout each day. Be aware of symbols and things that you see in your everyday life. All kinds of things. You might see feathers. You might see shapes in the clouds. You might hear things in your mind as if someone is speaking to you. You might see pennies on the ground, pennies from heaven. Keep your eyes and ears open for those coincidences, because those coincidences make life magic. When you are able to see them and make the connections, it makes everything magic. And life is a lot more fun when there's magic in life. All right, I'm going to go into the Indigo Angels now, and we're going to see what's cooking here. And here we go, shuffling the Indigo Angels cards. And cutting them. And here we go. Oh boy, freedom. I think this one came up last time or the time before. Freedom. All right, freedom, freedom, freedom. Beautiful card of a beautiful angel flying free. Flying free. You become more free as your spiritual understanding increases and as you get into the state of acceptance. So you have balance, staying balanced, being grounded, keeping your eye on your goal, knowing it may take time. Accept those around you, allow them to follow their own path, stop trying to control them. Look for your spiritual symbols that you see and the messages that come to you. And you become more and more free. You'll feel your energy expand outward. I promise you. All right, I'm going to talk to you about freedom right now in the Indigo Angel deck. This card answers your question. Remember your question, okay? This card answers your question by guiding you to seek greater freedom. Perhaps this comes from releasing something that no longer serves you. This could be a person, this could be a situation, this could be things. Right now, I am going through a process of releasing a lot of things. I'm giving a lot of things away. I'm, selling a lot of things. I'm releasing a lot of things. I need to release a lot more, but at least I'm releasing things. And I'm in that flow of releasing. I've always had a hard time releasing things, and I'll tell you why. When I grew up with a mom who grew up poor. My mother was very poor, and they lived on a dirt road in a small town in Pennsylvania. So when I grew up, we never threw anything away because, it's not like it was a hoarding house or anything like that, but my mom was very creative, and everything could be used for something else. As a matter of fact, I made one of my prom dresses in high school I made two dresses from old curtains. One was made from an old tablecloth that was a vintage lace tablecloth, and the other one was made from this beautiful blue floral fabric that was left over from the drapes my mother had made. So we kept pieces of fabric, we kept, things, containers, and everything could be used for something else. It would not be unusual for an egg carton to be saved and turned into a jewelry box for stud-pierced earrings, you know what I mean? So I grew up with that kind of mentality that when you look at something, don't look at it for what it was, look at it for what it could be. And those things allowed us to be very creative when I was growing up. My house was a very creative house. My mom was a very creative person. By the way, she turned 94 not too long ago. The first week of November, she turned 94, and she's doing great. So anyway, talk about releasing things and letting go of things. This card is also a confirmation that your prayers for freedom have been heard and the angels are working to bring change into your life. Well, that's a good thing. As an indigo, you can sense when someone is being controlled or manipulated, and you need to be able to fine-tune yourself so you can make sure that you're aware of yourself being controlled or manipulated, because indigos are extremely sensitive, they're very empathic, and they're kind of easy to manipulate by someone who has undesirable, malicious intentions to control you. So beware of that. You have an innate ability to see unnecessary restrictions and rules, but sometimes you may unknowingly impose your own restrictions and rules upon yourself. Allow. Accept yourself. Okay? When you draw this card, it signals that you should release control over your desires. When I let go of trying to control, I find myself more in control. Remember this card right here? When you draw this card, it signals that you should release control over your desires. Freely dream big for yourself. Freely dream big for yourself and this planet, and allow the angels to guide you with their eternal and infinite wisdom. Very, very nice. Do you see how all of these cards make sense in a narrative? Do you see that? They all make sense in a narrative. And I'm going to choose one more card right here from the Gypsy deck, okay? And here I go. We're going to shuffle the cards from the Gypsy deck. These are smaller cards. And cut them. Cut them again. And the card on the top is... this one came up last time too, I think. Wow. 20. You see how half of the sky is sunny and half is cloudy? That's the duality of this universe we are living in, you know? We live in a dualistic universe. It's all how you choose to see things. That's your power. You have a choice over what you want to see and how you want to see things. That is completely within your power. You have control over your perception. I'm going to read to you about the card number 20. And we'll see how it all ties in. The association of this card is a Cups card. And it's not, because this is the Gypsy Tarot, it's a little different, but it is a Cups, it relates to the Cups card in the Standard Tarot. And remember that Cups are weeks, okay? Now, it says huge towering clouds move swiftly over a flat plain, okay? Broken by a few trees and a clear blue stream. On one side, bright sunlight illuminates fluffy white clouds and the mountains in the distance. The other side of the clouds is dark and threatening. When we have our head in the clouds, we are consumed with daydreams and wishing for things that are not within easy reach. The clouds represent those imaginings. This card also encompasses the other cloud metaphors, from ill winds to silver linings. The light and dark clouds can indicate a storm soon to come, or one that has just passed. In any case, the thing to remember is the situation is temporary and due for a change. Have you ever watched clouds? They never stay the same. They are always changing. When I was a little girl, I grew up in Ohio. I used to love to lie on the grass and look at the clouds. I loved how they changed, how the shapes changed, how they moved, how I could find shapes in them and forms in them. It was really a blissful experience to lie on the rolling green grass of my front lawn and look at the clouds. And the clouds always change. They're a reminder that nothing ever stays the same. Nothing ever stays the same. So stop trying to control things. Developing your dreams can make them a reality and enrich your life. But the appearance of this card is a wake-up call. You can do too much dreaming and too much wishing and too much hoping. The clouds are a warning that the situation in question is on the level of a dream or wish. It's not reality. And like the storm clouds, it will soon pass and change into something more clearly perceived. So if something has been cloudy for you lately, it's going to become more clear. And hopefully this reading will allow you to tap into your subconscious mind and have things kind of rise and bubble up so that things are a little more clear to you and the direction that you're going in and the question that you asked. The challenge is, what are the ramifications of making this dream a reality? Is it going to be beneficial for you and all parties involved? Something to think about. Now, it's a 20 card. 20 is 2 and 0. 2 and 0 equals 2. And that's the High Priestess in the Major Arcana. Now, she did not show up in this reading, but the 2 did. And when the 2 shows up, the High Priestess is around. The High Priestess is always about using your feminine energy. Excuse me, I'm already releasing. Using your feminine energy and allowing your feminine energy, regardless of your gender or how you express yourself in that way. Everybody has a feminine intuitive side. Allow your intuitive side to guide you, okay? Your High Priestess aspect, your intuitive side, is 2. So it's also, if the Major Arcana Tarot card is something you can remember, it's a woman, the High Priestess, sitting between a white pillar and a black pillar. Here you have white and black, okay? Nothing is really white and black. There's always shades. See the shades of gray there? But remember, the nature of the universe is change. So now, I think it's time for us to go into the guided meditation. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn the light down a bit so it's a little more moody. There we go. And we've got our candle going here. It's just about, oh, it's about to go out. It just went out. How about that? Well, we don't need it because your eyes are going to be closed anyway, aren't they? So allow yourself to just kind of relax and let go. And we're going to begin the guided meditation. The most important thing is that you are relaxed during the guided meditation. I'm going to sit back a little bit so my voice may seem a little further away. Relax during the guided meditation. I'm going to speak up a little bit so you can hear me since I pulled away from the camera. But allow your back to be straight. That's it. And here we go. Allow your eyes to close so that you can focus on your own inner experience in a meaningful way. Notice your breathing, and notice how it begins to move into a natural rhythm. Easily and gently, your breathing begins to change. And as it does, you begin to breathe from your diaphragm. When you inhale, your diaphragm raises up. And when you exhale, your diaphragm flattens. As I count backwards from 5 down to 0, allow each breath to help you relax even more deeply. Letting go even more. With each breath and with each sound of my voice, allow yourself to go deeper and deeper and to let go more and more. That's it. There is nowhere you have to be. There is nothing you have to do. This is your time to allow yourself to recalibrate, regenerate, renew. This is a time for you to tap into your subconscious mind, where the answers lie waiting for you. But during a busy, busy, busy life, the answers do not come as easily. You must balance and give yourself quiet, alone time to allow your subconscious mind to bubble up with solutions for your everyday situations and dilemmas. By providing the balance of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, your activities and the direction you move in will be more clear, more balanced, and healthier for you. Any sounds you become aware of that you recognize as everyday normal sounds do not disturb you in any way. Instead, they allow you to relax and go even deeper into your own inner experience. Beginning on the count of 5. Feeling your body releasing and relaxing more and more. Allow, allow, allow. Your muscles are releasing as you move down on the count of 4, especially your neck and your shoulders. Feeling that relaxation moving down through your back. And coming down, relaxing even more on the count of 3. Letting go even more. Moving down into 2. Letting go. Allowing, allowing, allowing. That's it. Coming down into 1 now. Going even deeper. Letting go even more. And in a moment you'll hear some sounds. Allow the sounds to take you even deeper and deeper. Drifting deeper now as you allow the sounds to carry you from 1 down to 0. Letting go even more. And going even deeper. keep one foot on the ground so that you stay balanced without living too much from emotions that are all over the place. Allow yourself to be in control of your emotions. And this happens by you being grounded and taking time to ground yourself daily so that you do not get wrapped up in the emotional lives of others. Do not get overly wrapped up in the drama. Stay focused on your life, your goals, your work, your earth trip. Slow and steady sometimes is the best way. Remember that you gain control over yourself and have more control over your emotions when you stop trying to control others. Acceptance is key. Allow others to follow their own trajectory. Allow each vibration to complete its cycle. Do not interrupt a vibration. Spiritual understanding is expanding for you. Notice the signs, the symbols, the things you hear in your head as if someone is speaking to you that are positive, empowering, inspirational, and loving. Often the best ideas come from allowing yourself to take time for yourself, to center yourself, to visualize in your mind your goals, dreams, and desires. The signs and symbols are everywhere. Noticing them brings more magic into your life. More magic in your life reminds you of the divine connectedness of it all and reminds you that you are connected and part of it. That feeling of connection and being part of it, that feeling of connection and being connected to a higher power, universal energy, Buddha, Christ, Jesus, whatever you choose to call it. The feeling of being divinely connected to that greater power, that greater consciousness, brings happiness, joy, peace, and love. Freedom is key now. You are free to create your life, moving into another chapter. Free to let yourself be you. Free and no longer encumbered by the wants, desires, and projections of others placed upon you, of what they wanted you to be, do, or have. Take the freedom to create what you want. How you see your life. Life is a gift. It is fleeting. We are here for a short time. Make the most of it. If you are in a situation that is a trying situation right now, know that it will pass the way the clouds change in the sky constantly. The nature of the universe is change. If it's a dark time for you, know that a light time is coming. If there is a light time for you now, know that when the storms come and things become challenging, you will weather it and come out again. The rains do pass and the sun does shine again. And drifting deeper. thank you for taking this time for yourself. It has been my great blessing and joy to spend this time with you. I wish you many, many blessings. I honor you for honoring yourself. Until we meet again, I see the light in you and affirm that you see the light in others. Namaste.